All right, Shalom, Yasha'Allah, Zahab, Spirit Way, and Judah of the GMS Mississippi Camp, giving out honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Also giving double honors to the apostles, great millstone, rule well. And I want to say peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right, the breath of life. All right. You know, when you read the book of Genesis, the 2nd chapter, all right, in the 7th verse, where it says, you know, the Most High breathed the breath of life into Adam, and Adam became a living soul. What does that mean? Okay, but we're going to get into that, you know, in this lesson. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to just get pretty much to the point, man. All right, this is Genesis. This is the blue letter Bible, first of all. Okay, which this is a tool that we learned to use from Apostle Tahar. Okay, just gonna go back. This is Genesis, the 2nd chapter, and the 7th verse. And Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, and I'm gonna hit the word breathe. Okay, and I'm gonna go straight down to Genesineus Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon. It says spirit, breath, the spirit of the Most High imparting life and wisdom. So that's deep in itself. Okay. As a matter of fact, I jump up to Strong's definitions, and it says, well, first of all, let me get the word. Let me get the actual Hebrew word, Salak Akim.
Strong's H 5397.
Neshama. Okay. But going to Strong's definitions, it says a puff, a wind, angry or vital breath, divine inspiration, intellect. Okay, it says divine inspiration or intellect. All right, let's look up that word intellect right quick. Okay, let's look up that word intellect. Intellect. It says, I'm just going to use dictionary.com. The faculty of reasoning and understanding objectively, especially with regard to abstract or academic matters. Synonyms: mind, brain, head, intelligence, reason, understanding, comprehension, thought, brain power, sense, judgment, wisdom. All right, wits. Okay, smarts. All right, so hey, going back to Genesis. The 2nd chapter and the 7th verse in the definition, nashama, which is that's the Hebrew word for breath. Okay, it says intellect. Then it says the spirit of the Most High imparting life and wisdom. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai imparted life and wisdom into Adam. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Okay, and from there we can go to. Let's go to Sirach. And my phone is a little slow, so Crusaders Breath with me. Okay. Sirach. The 24th chapter. I start at the 1st verse. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. She came out of the mouth of the Most High. All right, which that sheds light on this allegory, this metaphor. Okay, Genesis 2 and 7 again. And Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay? So, that pretty much in a nutshell tells you what that breath of life is, but we're going to expound on it even more, okay, a little bit. Okay, Ecclesiasticus, the 17th chapter, in the first verse. This is talking about the time of Adam. Sirach 17:1. The Lord or Yahweh created man of the earth and turned him into it again. And that's where you get the word Adam from, or Adama, from the ground. He was a dark-skinned man because he was a product. He was a product of the soil. Okay, he was a physical product of the soil. He gave them few days in a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued, because going back to Genesis, what did it say? Man should have dominion over the beasts. Okay, and he gave them few days in a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves and made them according to his image, because he gave them order, okay? And put the fear of man upon all flesh and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of Yahweh. And in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding. And in the 7th, speech, an interpreter of the cogitations thereof. So let's see if we could get some light shed on this and interpreter. Well, let's see if we can get some light shed on this particular verse where it says, and in the 7th, speech, an interpreter of the cogitation of the tongues. Okay? And this is the book, Illustrations of the Holy Scriptures. And I'll be using this book very frequently. Okay? It says, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. All right, and the author is going to expound on this. The verb was is not in the original text. All right, so that right there, where it says Adam called every living creature, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. That the word wasn't there in the original text, according to this book. So it's more so that is the name thereof. Okay. The verb is not in the original text, and therefore the sentence may run in the present with equal propriety as in the past. And indeed, according to the genius of the language, with the more propriety in the present, that is the name thereof. Hence, the names by which the lower animals were known in the days of Moses were those which Adam gave in the paradise. And as these are pure Hebrew, the legitimate conclusion is the Hebrew was the language spoken by Adam before the fall. Okay, so hey, all right, I'm gonna get a little more. This is page 12, chapter 4 of the book Illustrations of the Holy Scriptures, and it says, so gonna skip to the point, when Yahweh, or here they say Jehovah, breathed into Adam and Eve the breath of life, he inspired them in the same moment with the knowledge of the tongue in which they were to express their thoughts. Okay? All right. And going back, now we have a little light shed on Sirach 17:5. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding, which is their breath of life. And in the 7th, speech. What is that speech? It's the Hebrew, the interpreter of the cogitations thereof. Okay? So part of their breath of life, which is the order, the laws of the Most High, okay? Those laws that weren't written in stone at that time, but were oral, okay? But also the Hebrew language. The Hebrew language. How else was Adam able to name those animals? Was the animals, the names that he gave them was from the same language that those words come from. Like for an example, camel goes back to Gamal. And that's what Adam named the animals, man. He named them after the characteristics that they had. Okay? Sirach 17:5 again. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding. Okay? The law, statutes, and commandments, he gave them understanding of creation. The Most High gave Adam the understanding of creation, man. Gave him understanding of the garden, understanding of the world around him, okay? And in the 7th speech, the interpreter of the cogitations thereof, or the interpreter or instrument to express his mind, which was the Hebrew tongue, man. All right? Which that's where you get his descendant Eber from, which in the Hebrew that Eber is Ibar, which means from the past, man. That language that was spoken from the past, man. Okay? Hebrew, the language that was spoken from the past, man. All right? Because something was carried, and I could get into this in another lesson, but something survived the flood. There are a few things that survived the flood, and one of those things was the Hebrew tongue, man. Because during the time of Genesis, everybody spoke the Hebrew tongue. The original language was the Hebrew tongue, man. Every language is rooted back in the Hebrew, okay? So one of those things that, if you may say, miraculously survived the flood, which was a relic of the ancient ways, the relic of the beginning of creation, was the Hebrew tongue. And when the Most High created Adam, and right now I'm talking about the specific Adam, okay? This was a progenitor of a lineage of a special people, all right? And like I said, one of those things that survived the flood, all right, was the Hebrew language. All right, I'm going to read this again, all right? They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech, an interpreter of the cogitations thereof. Okay? So, hey, there you go. And I'm going to, just for further edification, I'm going to get the Book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes, the Book of Sirach, chapter 24, verse 23. Okay? All Sirach 24 and 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High, even the law of Moses commanded for inheritance unto the congregations of Jacob. Okay? Because that what was breathed into Adam, man. He was orally breathed the laws of the Most High, and he was also imparted the Hebrew tongue, man, the Hebrew language, and along with that life and wisdom, all right, or the knowledge of understanding, all right, is mentioned in the Blue Letter Bible, okay, he was given intelligence, man. Adam was given intelligence, the power to reason, pursuant to Sirach 17 and 5. I'm going to go back to the Blue Letter Bible because I want to get these specific terms that they describe the breath of life. And it says divine inspiration, intellect, and it also says the Spirit of the Most High imparting life and wisdom. All right? So Adam was breathed wisdom, man. Starting with the laws, statutes, and commandments orally. All right? The oral laws. Also, the Hebrew tongue. And he was given understanding of the world around him, man. All right? Which is why he's the one that named the animals based off their characteristics, or based off the Hebrew tongue. Okay? How was he able to talk back to the Most High when he went off, man? All right? And, and that's pretty much the point, man. Going back to the breath of life, man. All right? He was given the Most High gave Adam intelligence, man. The biggest misconception is that we were primitive back then. All right? But in order to understand the world around you, you basically have to be a knowledgeable. You have to have high intelligence, man. And I'm going to get example of some of the things that Adam knew, because he didn't know everything everything perfectly because he went off, okay? But he knew he had a great deal of understanding that men today don't even have, okay? This is Wisdom of Solomon, all right? Wisdom of Solomon, 7th chapter, start at the 18th verse. All right. Start at 17. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17. This is Adam coming back in the reincarnation as King Solomon, which we all know as Yahweh Shai, also known as the first man Adam, okay? For he have given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements. All right. Something that the elder Warden Kemp told me, part of that breath of life, Adam was shown like the metals, the elements in the ground, those minerals, the understanding of it. But right here, Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17, he says to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements. What are the elements, man? All right, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sodium, potassium, things in the soil, are things in the atmosphere. Okay, because in Genesis, the first chapter, that was the splitting of the elements, man. Okay. Verse 18, the beginning and ending and midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun and the change of seasons, the circuits of years and the positions of stars, the natures of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts and the violence of winds and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots. Okay. But, during the time of Adam, we didn't really need medicine of the earth per se, but we had knowledge of the plants, man, because we were basically eating of the vegetation of the earth. All right, so you have to have knowledge of what you were eating, man. So the Most High imparted into Adam the knowledge of the world around him, man, along with that order, the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, along with the Hebrew language, man. All right, the Most High imparted Adam intelligence, man. So that goes to show you right there that we were of a great civilization when we were called the sons of God, man. We were of great intelligence, man. The biggest myth is that as time progressed, man became more intelligent, but actually the contrary is true, man. As time progressed, man deviated from the laws of the Most High, which resulted into a primitive state, man. The reason why you have the Northern Kingdom over there, all right, and they were sacrificing off pyramids and, Jake was just going off period because they had deviated from the laws of the Most High. But when they came over here to the Americas, they kept the laws of the Most High. See, one thing you should understand is the thing that comes with the laws of the Most High is civilization, all right? When the Most High breathed into Adam the breath of life, he civilized them, all right? Esau would do that on the left-hand side, man, through that so-called Christianity. He would spread a propaganda that these nations are heathens and they're pagans and they have pagan manners and lifestyles. Let's give them Christianity so we could quote-unquote civilize them. All right, but the Most High did that on the right-hand side, man. All right? He gave him their royal way of living, man. Hence the sons of God, man. Okay? But with that, I hope you brothers are edified. Hey, once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, Bashim Rakakodash, double honor to our apostles, a great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. To the next lesson, Shalom.